You're going to sleep for a solid 8 hours, but someone's poking you about every hour. Hey, I just have a quick question. It's just a few minutes. And then it takes you 10 minutes to get back to sleep. And people go, oh, well, look, you still got about 7 hours of sleep. It's not the same. Hi, Jeff Marsaggi, the Plain English Attorney, and welcome to the video. Today, we're going to get a little more personal and talk about how we handle things in the office around the holidays. I've been in business for quite a while. Don't actually want to mention the number of years because time it slips by. But I always end up taking 3 weeks off at the end of the year. Oh my gosh, that's so much time off. And well, yeah, but there are some kind of solid reasons for it. And it actually makes the most sense for me to take that time off, even if my staff isn't necessarily taking that much time off as well. So my office is going to be open the week before Christmas and the week after Christmas. Everybody in my office has that Christmas week off. I want to make sure that they've got a full week's break. It's all taken care of and they get paid for that. That's kind of their Christmas bonus. They're getting fully paid, but they're not going to end up working. So, however, my last day is the end of business on Thursday, December 11th. And then I've got that break. I'll be coming back on Monday, January 5th. All right. So why exactly am I doing this? Why can I do this? Well, look, my business is estate planning and Medicaid planning. So I don't have anybody calling into the office, they're being arrested and they need me to bail them out. Well, at least not clients, my friends, that might be another matter. No one needs to have their estate planning documents done immediately. I only had one inquiry. They were a little bit insistent that they wanted a will done before they went away on a trip for vacation, and they were just far behind, and they just wanted a will. I was like, well, oh, no. We ended up referring them to someone else to take care of that. My assistant handled it. There was nothing that really we needed to do right away. It wasn't some critical situation. So look, it just kind of works out that no one needs the services that my law office provides right away during the holidays. Now, the last time that I worked the week before Christmas and the week after, just saying, look, let's be available for my clients. We had 6 total appointments that got scheduled, and 5 of them canceled last minute because, well, it's the holidays, things got too busy, let's schedule it in the new year. All right, I'm just taking that time off. That's just it, end of the story. If you think it's important for educational videos like this to get out there, then please help us out by subscribing to the channel. All right, so for this 3-week period, and for most of the other ones, this kind of applies. Here's exactly what I'm doing. First, recuperate. For whatever reason, historically, we just become extremely busy from about the time the kids go back to school in August right up through that first full week in December is done. It's just a flat out run. And hey, I'm human too. I need time to recuperate. So that's the time that I'm doing that. We also make sure that I'm putting together and looking at the calendar for the year so that I can send that over to my office and say, look, here are the things that we need to put into place. Especially here are the times that we're scheduling for Asheville. And well, the good thing about that is the Durham Bulls baseball schedule is all set. It's out. It's set in stone. So now I can plan these things out for the whole year, get it all done, and get it to my staff and make sure that if they've got any comments or anything that we need to talk about and put in there, it's getting handled when I get back in January. If there are any specific webinars that I want to plan out, things that I want to make sure that I'm covering video-wise, this is kind of when I'm brainstorming those things, the bigger things. In a lot of cases, when it comes to the topics for the every week YouTube videos, that's something that I'm going to be thinking about as things come up. And honestly, in working with my clients, I'm getting a lot of ideas for videos that would be helpful to them and for me to reference out to them, dealing with the situations that they're coming up with. But broadly speaking, big topics This is the stuff that I'm going to be planning out for the upcoming year in a little more detail. Now, if there are any additions or updates that need to happen in the planning documents, this is when I do it. So if there are updates for revocable living trusts or any of the other documents, I'm just making sure it's done. I mean, one big thing, and this is, I mean, it's a small thing, but it needs to happen across all of our document templates. Typically, I'm the notary in these situations. My commission, quote, expiring ends up happening on March 17, 2026. So I got to get my application in at the appropriate time to renew my notarization. But now, from that point forward, all the document templates are going to say 2031. So I have to update that. Again, small thing, but it has to be done. This is the time that I do it. The other thing is, if there's going to be a book written in the new year, this is when I'm going to sit down and I'm going to brainstorm it. This is where we start figuring out, all right, what are the topics? What are the chapters that need to be put into place? What are the explanations so that I can have it ready to go typically by late spring so that it's done. But the planning, the sketching out, that's going to happen. Now, that's also going to be part of a topic that I'll be doing and recording for next week. And this just leads right into it. I'm going to be taking a week-long break from consuming social media. I find there are a lot of people who are constantly on their phone. They're constantly on Facebook, Instagram, Reddit, and I mean, even YouTube. It's not necessarily that they're looking stuff up that they need for their life, for work, for a situation that pops up. It's just for entertainment. You know what? I'm going to cut that out. I'm going to unplug from consuming social media. And the next video that I'm going to do, I'm going to talk about exactly what that means and what the parameters are. And I also have a 7-week schedule for things that I'm going to do. One of which will be, how am I going to be planning out the next book? And it's going to be on in-law protection planning. We're going to come up with a much better title than in-law protection planning. All right. So I've also heard, well, wait a minute, if you're taking 3 weeks off, how do you just kind of stop? Hey, I just have a quick question from leaking in. I kind of describe this as, if you're going to take a good night's sleep, you're going to sleep for a solid 8 hours, but someone's poking you about every hour. Hey, I just have a quick question. It's just a few minutes. And then it takes you 10 minutes to get back to sleep. You don't get up at the beginning of the day and only had 40, 50-minute naps, 8 of them. And people go, oh, well, look, you still got about 7 hours of sleep. It's not the same. So how do I stop that? I do have a temporary increase in my hourly rate. My hourly rate is $2,000 per hour with a 2-hour minimum during that 3-week period. So if you absolutely positively have to get an answer to a question from me during that time, we're going to run your credit card for $4,000. Now, no one has ever taken us up on that. In fact, when my staff, if they have to say this, they're telling them, look, this is his rate, this is his minimum, or you can wait till January. Nobody's taken us up on it. They've always waited till January. It's never been an issue. But the big thing for most of my clients, if they're calling in and they're saying, hey, yeah, is Jeff there? I got a quick question. And they say, well, no, he's on break. He'll be back in 2.5 weeks or whatever it is. This is his time off. Oh, okay. Please have him call me when he gets in. It's not a problem. My clients are generally, they're very good about respecting that time off because I'm very good with providing my time that other 49 weeks out of the year. So while I may be out of pocket during this time, Jennifer and AJ and even Alani, they're going to be working and doing stuff that whole week before Christmas and that week after Christmas leading up to the beginning of the year. They're going to be handling the things that kind of need to get done organizationally, administratively, catching up on things, refining contact and communication with clients for the upcoming year. They're going to be working on all of that stuff without the appointments and the other usual things that have to happen with the law firm functioning full time during the a regular work week, they're going to be catching up on all of that stuff so that we can hit that ground running in January. All right. So that's the reason why we take this much, I take this much time off. This is why the office is kind of shut down, but not really. The staff gets a lot of things done when I'm not there. So I hope that explanation helps out. And look, I recommend if you could take a good break and just come back refreshed and conquer 2026, then take that time and do it if you can. Now, as I always tell my clients, please stay safe, plan ahead, and enjoy life. And whatever you do, make it a great day. And I'm going to add, enjoy the holidays and enjoy any time off that you can get.